just talked about. I thoroughly suggest that. Then lessons learned is focused on startups, but it has a huge application to B2B gaming because it talks about keeping things lean, keeping things quick. Which is exactly what you need to do if you're a game developer. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's one of those really naff self-improvement books that I was a bit skeptical on reading, but it has applications everywhere with dealing with people, dealing with teams, and dealing with yourself. So I can't recommend that one highly enough. Steve Blank built one of those multimedia CD companies back in the 90s where they were like, okay, we're going to revolutionise gaming with a full motion video. They got venture capital, millions upon millions of dollars worth of venture capital, and it absolutely nosedived. The reason that nosedived was because they didn't test the ideas. They basically got in front of why, because they got millions of dollars worth of investment for an idea that they hadn't tested. They were these huge superstars in Silicon Valley, and it totally bombed. And Steve Blank talks about that in quite great detail about what the fuck went wrong and how they lost so much money so drastically. And then a couple of really good indie blogs, Titty Boy, who made World Good, have shared a lot of their development snapshots over the period of making World Good, which is it's great insight if you're just starting out and what the process is. And Wolfire, some guys in California working on, I think something quite advanced. They're kind of trying to build a halo tool, and they seem to be actually going about it the right way, which is from the outside is quite impressive how much they share about their development process. And I actually tried to talk to them about this talk, and set up a meeting didn't quite pan out, but they have quite a large team for an indie development team without any funding, and it's quite impressive what they're doing. Any more questions?
I have a question for you. A lot of these topics, especially going back to Stephen Blank and his effort, we've all heard of Duke Nukem Forever. Does it actually read anything by George Blizzard or anything as to why 3D Realms never actually got that done? This is a question for you.
Yeah. Basically, there was nobody driving them. There was nobody telling them. There were no deadlines. Because 3D Realms was independently, they were funding themselves. There was no publisher on their back going, okay, so all right, you need to get this later on. Basically,
There was a funny article written by one of the previous designers who worked there that essentially the whole concept of Duke Nukem Forever was to create this infamy of making the longest developed game in history. Whether or not it got finished was completely irrelevant. They just wanted to make the longest developed game in history and get the record for that. So they were trying to make their life's work out of that. It's the dude who wrote it has a fantastic sense of humour, so you never quite know whether or not he's absolutely speaking BS or not. But it's actually a good article, well written. So I would suggest people to give that a read.
Yeah, they had the classic moving goalposts problem, where they went from they changed engines, they changed ideas, they changed features. So their goals were always advancing ahead of them, which is the exact opposite of what I've been talking about. Get it done, get it done, get it done. And that's what happens. You end up the laughing stock of the gaming community. But yeah, any more questions, thoughts?
It's kind of like what the Buddhists say, like don't let things stick too much. Like don't let the idea stick too much. You just gotta do it. You gotta get up in the morning. You gotta get up quick out of bed, and you don't eat too much so that you're too full. try and have this idea that you can't let go of.
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
Yeah, you have to throw away ideas. You have to be willing to just go, well, this hasn't worked, move on. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Murder your darlings.
Sorry.
Murder your darlings. It's a term from writers, authors. It seems like such a great idea, but it's just not quite working. You have to kill it. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, you get really attached to an idea, and it's going to be the next big thing. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be not going to happen. And that's why getting your idea out there. Very quickly you'll discover whether it's a good idea, especially on the internet where people are quite happy to let you know what they think, even if you don't want to know. So I think that's what one of the talks going on one of the idea traits is about is people are quite happy to offer up their criticisms. So yeah. More questions? No? Right. Well, I'm happy to link to this. I don't know if you guys are or not, but I'm done. Thank you very much.